So here we are at the famous Shutesbury Athletic Club, and I am doing the final finishing touches on this beef stroganoff. As you may recall, last night I mentioned that we were going to mix the wet ingredients that Thomas put together and the dry ingredients in with the beef in a crock pot and cook it down for 10 hours. And this is what you end up with. The beef has cooked down into a wonderful, it's nice and soft and tender. All the various liquids that Thomas put together, the wine, the Worcestershire sauce, the steak sauce, and dry spices all went together. Now that it's been cooked down, I'm going to do a final 15-minute warm-up in the oven, and I'm going to add to this, to all of it, I'm going to add a couple of blocks of cream cheese and liquefy that a bit, and then I'm going to add a couple of maybe 16 ounces of sour cream and stir it all together. And it'll make probably about 5 of these dishes right here, and that'll add a nice creamy texture. The creaminess and the vinegar flavor comes together to create that wonderful flavor that's often there for Russian cuisine.
So now we're going to begin the process of the noodles. The noodles are going to get combined with the sauce. Got 8 quarts of boiling hot water. We're just going to safely add them in there.
Along with this, we're going to put together a green salad and should be ready to serve this up in about 55 minutes.
So now we need to begin making our salad. Wonderful salad. We're going to begin cutting up some wonderful veggies here. Just going to cut them up into little slices and add them up with some celery and some other peppers that we've been cutting up. We're going to make a wonderful salad.
So it's very important when you're making a salad to treat your vegetables in the same way we talked about the meat yesterday. You've got to wash things, rinse things thoroughly. We're adding to our salad a mixture of flavors. Apples, raisins, asparagus, sweet and bitter lettuces, some arugula, some Boston Bib, romaine, as well as what's the other lettuce we're using? What's that basic lettuce? Iceberg lettuce.
Oh, iceberg. Yes, my favorite.
Yeah, I don't really like iceberg too much, but it's kind of like bread, you know, like Wonder Bread or something. This gets in my way. This is a good trick for iceberg lettuce. You have this core in the middle, and the great way to remove the core is slam it down like that, and then you can just reach in and pluck it out. Now it's out of your way, and voila. I've already washed the lettuce off already. Make sure the outer leaves are nice and clean. And sometimes when I take the core out, I'll fill this up with water and wash it as well, but I'm not going to be that picky. So there's a lot of conversation that happens in the world of cutlery, not cutlery, what's it called?
Cutting lettuce.
Not cutting lettuce, cooking people. Talk about the fact that this right here is a living thing. It's been picked and everything, but it still has active enzymes in it. And when you actually rip your greens and you rip your lettuce and rip your greens that are going in the salad, it activates those enzymes because you're actually harming it. And the enzymes get activated. And those enzymes are actually healthy for you to eat. When you cut it, they're activated slower and not in the same way, from what I understand. I don't know completely all the information, but I heard it once on NPR, so I just thought it was interesting. From then on, I've always ripped my lettuce. Actually, I remember learning it in biology, but I didn't, that was, 25 years ago.
Now we're cutting the asparagus. Now since Thomas has finished preparing the peppers, we used a greenish yellow pepper, and we also used tomatoes, and that also gives it nice flavors and a very colorful mix. And make sure you wash your hands before cooking. We're also going to be adding the a more sweeter lettuce, and just make sure you knock this guy off. No one wants to eat this in their salad. And then as before, just rip it.
So, another thing we're going to add to our delicious salad is apples. Apples goes really nicely in salad. So, I know we've got a bunch of apples here. So we're just going to add maybe half the bag. We're just going to cut them up, turn them into slices. You want to make them small enough so you can eat them, but not too small that they're just non-existent. So, these nice little, this size right here, perfect size for it.
Just gonna add them in there.
And go really nice.
I'm Chef Thompson. I'll be dicing up the cilantro to go in the stroganoff here. Cut it up in nice little pieces. Add a little basil and cilantro to this pasta here. A little drizzle of olive oil. Make it nice and tasty.
So good, sir. What do you think of the meal?
So I think it's excellent. I think it's an excellent production. When you're cooking for this many people in bulk, it's always hard to get flavor points that are distinct, and your use of fresh herbs, particularly the parsley, chiffonade, and a little bit of rosemary in there really works. The balance of flavor is great. The seasoning is great. The consistency is quite good. It could have been just a tad thinner. The noodles are not overcooked, and I think it's a really very excellent production.